Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
Hi, Joe.
Welcome to the Silver Farm.
This is where we go cross stitch, one stitch at a time. Can we tell how much I told her I was going to do that? Actually, I didn't tell me I was going to do that. It just happened. Welcome to the channel.
It's where life works. It just happened. How is everybody today?
Please tell me you are not roasting in your... we're not roasting in our juices because I kind of made sure we got AC in this house.
And it was only 79 degrees today. It's going to be 89 tomorrow.
I'm
forward to that.
going... Oh, I know what Laura's going to do. She's going to sit right here with the AC right there. And, yeah.
I hope the AC isn't too loud.
I was about to say, please let us know if the AC is too loud. Actually, let's stop it and play it back.
Yes, let's do
one interruption, please.
Okay.
All hell noise canceling technology.
Can't hear it? We're good.
Yep.
How was everybody's week? Ours was hot.
Yeah, I want to dig up the grass so I can put my pool in. I was hoping to get at least a few days at 75. I don't think I'm going to get that. Oh, great. The day I need to do yard work is going to be 90 degrees. Oh, great.
We have some stuff we have to do. Let's just worry about getting the pricker bush down tomorrow.
Yep.
Everything else can wait.
The only reason why I'm specifically doing that tomorrow is they pick up the branches on Wednesday, and we have kids that run around.
There's kids that run around. If we put it on the address side, it won't be that big of a deal. Yeah. We're gonna put it where if they cut themselves on the prickers, they were where they shouldn't have been, basically. Mm-hmm. So, I don't even know where I'm at right now.
We're at the beginning of the video, about 2 minutes in.
Yes, dear. Would you like to shout out our commenters?
Okay. Angie. Tracy, that's a new one.
She's commented a couple
Mad Morty. That's an awesome name. 2 different... Bridget, different ones.
2 different Bridgets.
A lot of the same Lynn. And Teresa.
And Morty is her nickname. Hold on, my brain wheels just stopped. She's a reenactor. And for a while, she was playing the Sheriff of Nottingham's witch. What is it? Her name's Morticia, right?
I think.
She's going to tell me because I forgot. And she told me, like, when we put the video up, because she actually asked me what you mumbled about her name last week. I was like, oh, he thinks it's awesome. So, and everybody gave you a hard time about the 1, 2, 3 stitch thing.
And as most people actually said, you're allowed 1 free pass. So if I do it again, I'm going to be mailed skinning alarm. We're going to get a knife and instructions on how to skin myself. That's what happens when you anger stitchy, crafty people. They send you DIY skinning kits.
There you go.
Kits,
whatever. We know.
Yeah.
We got what you mean. Ooh, get back in frame more. Alright, let's move on to whips then.
Okay.
Whips.
Yay! Everybody, a couple of items one day I didn't get it stitching in.
The translation, for those of you who don't speak mumbleese.
I didn't get much. I got like 3 lines in this done. Well, maybe more than that, but still not a lot.
I think you got a little bit more than that.
Basically, I'm playing a lot of video games, and I've also been doing a lot of yard work and planning and that's coming up in the later sections. I got some toys.
Okay. Daily 30 celebration week. Okay. I can't remember what I wrote down. Because all I wrote down was top theme. I'm like, what does that mean? So, the top themes in the Daily 30 prompts over the last 2 years has been places,
Daily 30 is a closed group. Yada, yada, yada.
TV movies, and food. And I could probably relate this thing to all three. I stitched on a scenic farm because a farm is a place. There's been lots of movies about farms, TV shows about farms.
I have some very shocking information for all of our city folk watchers.
What?
Food comes from farms, not supermarkets.
What he said. So,
I used to be a city slicker. I'm allowed.
Did
That's so
bunch of back
awesome.
stitch.
That
I
looks
did.
so much better with the back stitching.
Doesn't it though? I did 401 back stitch totals, which counted to 200 and a half stitches. Basically, finished putting the branches on the tree because part of the branches are dark brown. And then this building, part of this building, that building. What else? Oh, and part of this building. There is still some back stitching to put on this, the barn on this side, the big barn on this side, and then the barn next to it going towards Joe. The little one in front of it is done. And then the little one closest to this hand that's waving is all done. The little one in front of the big barn closest to this hand that's waving is done. There's some more stitches to go on the big barn. The little barn between that barn.
Let go of your teeth.
So there's still some more back stitching on that barn, and that barn. And the ground.
Can I be a smart arse?
What?
I'm trying to decide if this here is an outhouse or a doghouse.
It is.
Because it's but big for both.
Hold it up. It's probably a small corn crib.
Okay. You get what I'm saying.
Yes. This is probably a milk house.
I'm going to say this one here is actually for hay.
Or it
With
might
that big
be a
A
maple
door.
It might be a maple syrup barn.
Actually, they're probably the same dang size and shape.
Probably, yeah. I'm thinking milk house. But the only reason I'm thinking maple syrup barn is because it's got the thing on the top that's venting for the steam from the maple syrup. Yes, this is probably hay storage or equipment storage because of the big door. And you have little doors here. That's animals. Little corn crib.
There's a reason this channel is called the Slovak Farm.
Green Acres is the place for me.
Can I make my Smiley comment?
What?
As your dad would say, it's kind of brown acres in north central Ohio.
Brown acres, yeah.
Especially right now because the weather has been
Mud acres right now.
actually not all dried. It's just he's actually like, I need rain so I can plow because all he's doing is dusting.
This is true. All right. Oh, excuse me. The next thing that I stitched on.
May I ask why you did the teeth bearing thing? That was a little creepy.
I don't know, because my teeth are disgusting.
No, they're not. At least you have most of them.
Okay. So we had to do something that we could relate to a country different than our own. Well, gee. Cora Albacora is Italian, not American. That works. And then do the exact. We had to do 209 stitches exact because that's how many members were in Daily 30 when the prompt was written. I didn't look, so So I did
I want to
200.
know if somebody actually sat there, zoomed in, and actually counted the stitches. Because I don't think our cameras are that high res.
I did 213 stitches for a different country, and obviously 209 stitches for the membership total, which gives me what, 422 stitches? Making math, y'all. This is on a piece of hand-dyed by the Slovak Farm Dirt Road. So I finished a pumpkin. Allow me to hold my project so that the cuss word needle minder is not showing. And so I can hold it a little better. I did that pumpkin, and I started that pumpkin. Pumpkins.
I'm about ready to get you a little steel disc that you can put over that needle minder while we're filming.
It's called Pumpkin Farm, so there's pumpkin. Yeah. True story.
I know
Actually,
they sell them. I can go to the hardware store and get one.
when I had posted the other week, and I was like, oh, I probably need to cover up the naughty word needle minder, the one admin was like, okay, what does it say?
I love how you like, oh, I want to censor and I don't want to use bad words, and the number one reaction you get is, what does it say?
It was just from the one admin. She was like, what does it say? And I told her, it says, don't be a salty, you can fill in the blank.
That's her idea. That's her idea of a bad word. Me, I consider that mild language. My idea of naughty words rhyme with truck.
That's a naughty word too. Okay.
By your definition, of course.
We had to stitch on a piece that had less than 7 floss colors in it. That took a little bit of work to find. And then pick a past prompt and relate a project to it. So I did the same project for both of those prompts. My past prompt was something with leaves on it from Tea Week. So, Blessings Be Thine
I think I
from
found out how many colors are in it.
Home for the Holidays. Yes, there is, 4 colors in this sampler? I am just doing this part as an ornament, and I'm taking out the white stars. So I only have 3 colors in it right now. This is on a solo hand-dyed by the Slovak Farm. Okay, that's the top.
Pretty.
Thanks. 205 stitches.
Opalescence.
Sparkly. 205 stitches and 200 stitches even gives me 405 stitches.
The only reason why I brought up the opalescence is later you'll see me talking about fabric, and she's like, oh, that's opalescence. Oh, that means sparkly. I'm like, I know what opalescence means. I've been on this channel for how long? Even I'm not that dense.
I'm pretty sure I have this up here a little longer than it needs to be. It's either longer or shorter. I can't remember now because it's been so long since I stitched on this. So I'm going down this way. There's like a... It'll look fine, but I want to base it on a correct placement. What?
So basically what you're saying is the only reason anybody's going to know anything is up because they can watch this video.
Yep. It should look fine. I just want to make sure I'm placing it correctly.
Wow, that was funny.
What?
Oh, the camera auto-adjusting the color. I need to we need to go get a better camera that doesn't auto-adjust the color.
We have a better camera. It just doesn't like
No.
the laptop.
No. That one auto-adjusts the color too, which is why it doesn't work.
Oh.
The really good ones don't do that. They actually have sliders and settings and control software you do that manually with if you want.
Let's pull in here. Okay, so that completed Daily
You don't
30
get
Celebration Week. So, like I had said, I put the stitches that I did for the monthly last weekend for the last prompt on stitch on something that makes you think about friendship because of the green issue. So I went ahead and I worked on my green project. Wait, she's not in a green dress.
Give her a minute. Let's just say Laura played with her Barbie dolls and got extra clothing.
That's why I learned how to sew, so my Barbies could have more clothes.
That's actually nowhere.
Why?
What's really funny is it's nowhere near as pathetic as why I learned how to sew.
It's to fix your own clothes. I also did this for the monthly prompt of, can you drive a manual car? No, I cannot. We could pick our whip. We just had to say whether or not we could drive a manual car.
She can for all of 10 feet and then the clutch falls out.
So,
Not kidding.
317 stitches and 300 stitches equals 617 stitches on this. We are getting there, folks. We are getting there. Bust a move on her.
Can I videotape you doing that with her?
Bust a move. She is stitched on a piece of 32 count hand dyed by the Slovak farm. What's the colorway, honey?
For your thoughts.
Let's just show her off one more time. Okay. She's my pride and joy. She is my pride and joy. Okay, and then...
Which I find very ironic and funny. Considering how much you actually didn't give two craps. I don't think if somebody had gifted it to you, you would have never bought it.
No, I actually decided that I wanted it after I saw somebody stitching it. Well, okay, so I saw somebody stitching it in the green conversion. I thought that's kind of cool. Still wasn't like, I need that pattern. Because I knew it was out of print and highly in demand and it was expensive. Then I saw somebody stitching it in the regular yellow on that shade of fabric, and I was like, that green on that would look amazing. Now I got to get my hands on the pattern. So I looked around for a little while, and then somebody gifted it to me. Okay. So then we had to, so then the next monthly that I worked on was we had to stitch on something and tell a story about if we have or have not gifted our stitching. I have gifted my stitching. I did my peppermint purple style. And I want to know why I decided to stitch this on black. Because it makes my eyeballs hurt.
Because it looks cool.
It does look cool. And I did, obviously I'm very behind. Week 1, 2, and 3 were done. So I did 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yes, I did 4, 5, 6, and 7. That was 722 back stitches, which equals 361 counted stitches. This is just a black even weave somebody gave me. I think it's 28 count. But I question that because that black holes are hard to see. No, it's 28.
So that actually is part of the reason why I'm not stitching much. These are way past due, and I got a month and a half before I got when I finally got around to calling them. Like, oh, that'll be a month and a half from now.
So
Sorry,
I did a.
brain cover.
You're fine. So I did a grand total of 2,006 and a half stitches last week.
Can I be a smarter? You know what I would have done if I was you? I would have done 14 and a half stitches.
Ah?
2021.
And
You know I'm just that kind of a dork.
okay, I do have some.
So do I.
So, haul time.
Maybe.
Haul, y'all.
Yeehaw! So what are we calling this?
Well, it was meant to be heirloom, but
Dirty Yellow?
Laura screwed up and didn't let the fabric settle, let the dye settle, so it's got gray spots on it. So it's a solo. I could probably sort of
I like this better. Leave it alone.
recreate it if somebody's really itching to have it. I think I can come up with something similar. You have to let me play with it, but it is what it is.
And this is what I'm using for squirrels. And thanks to moving, this isn't stash acquisition. This is stash rediscovery. I discovered, in addition to the ones I found before, I found another like 20 patterns. And we got this one kitted out. I just need to wait for my lovely fabric provider to get me some new fabric. And this is Happy Dragon by Antonia Designs.
Yeah.
It's a little dragon. Why wouldn't I?
Random squirrel. My brother just text messaged me. My littlest niece is in softball, which makes me happy because hockey's life, baseball's life support when hockey's not in season. But he's like, I don't know what inning we're in, but we're definitely not winning right now. And I just had to laugh. I don't know what inning we're in, but we're not winning. Okay, so
Return.
this is my first wholesale purchase. No, it's not my first wholesale purchase. That big old bulk of fabric was my first wholesale purchase.
That's your first wholesale pattern
Pattern
purchase.
haul purchase. I'm not going to go through the piles of when I buy new patterns for the shop unless y'all want me to. If y'all comment below and say, show us what you got for the shop, I will do it.
My question to you is, do you want it as part of these videos or their own videos?
Also a part of the question. And if I was going to say, if you do want to see it, do you want me to do it as a separate video or as part of these videos? And if you're like, yes, I want to see it, but only if you do it as a separate video and not part of your regular video, also a valid answer.
Yeah, actually, that might be better because then nobody can complain.
Well, yeah, that's probably what I will end up doing, is doing a separate video for shop updates. But
Do I have to be serious or can I be a total goofball about it?
you can be a goofball because that's our shtick.
Okay. I need to dress you up as Vanna White. He's gonna beat me up.
I bought Mirabilia's Starlet. You know what's great about this pattern? It is all DMC. There's only one Mill Hill bead color on this pattern. There's 23 colors in this. Plus 3 where it's 2 colors blended. And 1 color of Mill Hill beads. It does include a few of the newer colors, the double-digit colors. But I'm actually really excited to stitch her because it's not a very complicated Mirabilia. Some of the Mirabilias are complicated.
Honey, Some of them border rocket science.
Somebody wanted Cathedral Wood Goddess, and she wants me to stitch it with her, which I will. I will show you the bead pack when my bead pack gets here.
Was that the one with like 12 in it?
Oh, there's more than
12. So when are we getting our crazy idea?
12. That'll probably get here end of this week. So things I've learned, Widget's a little slow to ship out, but I don't know if that's due to maybe COVID, There's a lot of things that are due to COVID issues. I do know that...
I think COVID is just the best excuse people have ever got.
Well, I do know that 2 of the Krynics for Cathedral Wood Goddess are out of stock right now. So I'm wondering if there's, some stock issues with Krynic and stuff, because I did order the Krynics in the Mill Hills for ours. So, that's it for haul for right now.
Button pressing go now. Squirrels in Sumatra!
Plans and announcements. Plans?
I think I just said it. Let me see. Right now, part of my problem right now is I'm just focusing on kidding, which means I need to go raid Joanne's. And before anybody starts, she has to get 12 of each color in order to buy DMCs.
Now, I will say, if we look at your patterns and you need multiples of DMC, it might be worth ordering. I
don't think it needs that many because they're not that big.
I don't think so either. But yes, he is right. I would have to order a box of 12 DMCs.
Per each color.
Per color.
No.
I'm not at that level just yet.
I mean, there will get to a point where I will just raid the wife's supply chest.
And I probably do have a fair amount of the DMCs upstairs.
I'll go and get them myself. It's not a big deal. Floss is not that expensive.
I have to go through the box and see what I have. So.
That's kind of what we're talking about here.
I need a daily 30 break. So, I am going to take this lovely list we have here, and I have to start another one for my letters of the month. So I will be doing that.
Can I pick one?
No, it's already picked out. Just chillax. So what I'm going to do is just kind of chug through this list. Tomorrow I'm going to start my letters of the month new one, because I have to actually get work on it before the end of the month. I have to make sure I have enough stitches on knee-high for letters of the month. But outside of that, I'm just going to go through this list, like today. Stitching on Winter Fairy. Stitch on, I may push Argon and Arwen to a Saturday or a Sunday. Saturday or Sunday. Our second COVID shot is Saturday. So it may get pushed to the following weekend. Just depending on how I feel. Only because I'll probably do at least 2 blocks. I may do 3. It's in a fairly non-confetti area now. I'd really like to get this page finished I have left on here on this. But I think that's like 700 stitches. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm just going to go and stitch on.
Can we get that again, please?
I'm just going to go and each day stitch on something different. I'm still going to count my stitches. Technically, I think they're still battling out Myth and Magic. Honestly, yesterday, the team I was villagering for got knocked out like Thursday, and I was like, done right now. So I haven't looked.
You haven't no. Oh, and the only reason why her stitch count was at 2,000, not like 3,000, 4,000. Laura, the brave trooper she is, decided to go out in the heat and garden.
I like the garden. It's been a little hot. But I
Have you
do.
watered your plants today?
No, Mother Nature did it for me this morning.
Okay.
I checked when I was out there cooking. I grilled dinner. I checked when I was out there grilling dinner. Ground was still, the beds were still wet. Everything was still wet. I do have one thing I need to finish. I was going to do it tomorrow morning, but I have to go out to the bed at 9 a.m. So it may not get done till Wednesday. I think the succulents will live until then. But yeah, I've been gardening this week. I told you, Green Acres is the place for me. That's the plan for right now. We'll see how long I decide I wanna do a break.
No announcements I know of.
No announcements.
The question was whether or not you want us to do the stuff she gets for the business and whether or not you think they'll be good if that's a different video. So, Endspiel?
Yes, please.
I love you.
I'm sleeping.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, thingy me Bobby, that whole YouTube spiel. Thank you for watching.
Until next week.
Bye.